There's my timer. Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. San Andreas. I'm the Mysterious JG. We are in a new reality where I have spent way too much time. Like I said, this is like a whole year where if I was playing games with a drink in my hand and not recording, I was likely playing this game. It was the one I was playing with most of the time when I was just goofing around with the game and not recording it. Unless I was specifically level grinding for one of the RPGs I was playing, I was messing around with San Andreas. And as a result, we've taken over all of Los Santos for the Cherry Hill families. Sorry, it's an old joke from a defunct website. The Grove Street families. And the only territories left run by other gangs are kind of invisible territories. And there really aren't that many of them in Los Santos that would be probably marked in a blue color to indicate that they're the whatever Cesar Villapando's gang is, and I think they're Hermanos or whatever. I think they're supposed to be Puerto Rican, not Mexican, but I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, this game has... It kind of breaks as you would expect. It breaks its gangs up into ethnic groups. So there's like two black gangs that oppose each other. The families and the ballas, with the families having different subdivision of groups within the families that don't like each other but kind of come together over the course of the story, if I remember right. You've got two Hispanic or Latin gangs that don't like each other. Later in the story, I think there's a gang called the Cloud Mountain Boys up in San Fierro, which I think are Chinese, and they're at war with a Vietnamese gang. This is all, I'm just kind of pulling this from memory. I might be making shit up. And although they're not a major part of the story, as you might expect, once we get into Las Venturas, which is the Las Vegas of this world, then finally it's like white people do crime too, because that's when the Italian mafias become relevant in the story. Never played a Grand Theft Auto game that talked about like the Westies, the old Irish mafia, but they've long since become the Democratic Party of the northeast cities. Like, yeah, the Westies have long since evolved into a political function, if I remember right, and it's possible I don't. We're not in like gangs of New York times here. But yeah, that being said, I off screen did the two missions for Ryder, because there's actually two. But for my own goofing up, I kind of created a situation where I had to do the Ryder missions again because I did them on screen before realizing, oh shoot, I should have left them to do when I loaded this. Otherwise, everything should be exactly where it was in terms of mission status. We got a lot more money. We now have all the properties that we're allowed to buy at this point. I think this house right here has the next girlfriend that we can get, and I don't know. That might be a thing to do in this video. It's a bit of a haul, but let's just drive up here and see whether or not we can meet this girlfriend. I know I don't have the right attributes to actually date her. She likes really skinny guys, and CJ is like max muscle at this point. The issue with CJ's body is that he's all muscled up, and the only way to lose muscle in this game is basically to starve over an extended period. Which is why it's kind of like, in this game, if you build up some muscle, which is one of the things I was doing off screen too, I'd occasionally hit the gym and like have CJ lifting weights. So I didn't think there was any disadvantage to having him be muscled up, and then kind of realized too late, oh yeah, there's this one girl you want to date that has you can't have high muscle or you won't be allowed to date her. And in this game, once you get muscle, as long as you don't start starving to death, you don't have to work out to maintain muscle in this game. You just have to work out enough to have muscle in the first place. because muscle is something you can lose if you you'll see Grove Street gang guys spawning all over the place now because I've taken over this whole city. Oh, and our respect is maxed out, by the way. Respect is something the game tracks. From what I've seen, what it affects is how many people you can have. You saw in the last video, I kind of aimed a gun at somebody, and they were Grove Street. I could the same control inputs that you would use to aim your gun at somebody. You can then press up on like the control pad, blah blah blah. You can get them to join you and follow you around. And the higher your respect is, the more people will follow you before you're maxed out. But having guys following you around is generally not useful. You don't get to use it at all during story missions. It's not that useful in free roam. We're at hard ass, by the way. So there's not a lot of point to doing it. What was I trying to see? Yeah, our muscle. What is our muscle level? It should be maxed out. Yep. So in this game, if you don't eat, you will lose fat. And if you don't have any fat to lose, you will lose muscle. So if you're trying to maintain the maximum level of muscle, all you have to do is eat occasionally. Like literally, you can just maintain like a very small amount of fat so that if you ever get a message that tells you your fat has been reduced, you know, oh, I better go eat something, because the next time that happens, it'll be muscle. And that's it. You can like permanently maintain the best possible muscle by doing that. It's the game really tried hard to make this more of like a like it went way beyond anything GTA 3 or Vice City did as far as like your ability to customize CJ and make it feel like a real world. But it got to, you know, I always thought it got to the point where it's like it was too much. Like after a while, I'm like, I'm kind of sick of having to worry, like manage all this nonsense. I just want to play a game. But B, yeah, how the hell do I see? The map does not help you figure out how to get onto this big fucking interchange to go north. But yeah, like if you're trying to get CJ to be like 0% body fat, 800 pounds of pure muscle, you can kind of do it just by like you won't be at 0% muscle, but you can get awfully damn close just by making CJ be at like less than 10% body fat, and then your muscle never goes down. What the hell am I getting at? So we're going to go see if we can meet this girlfriend, and it's probably kind of a dumb thing to be doing, actually, because either she'll show up or she won't. And yeah, I need to get on that fucking overpass there. She'll either show up or she won't, and even if she shows up, we can't date her. So the more I think about it, the more it doesn't make sense to me to be doing this. And I think I've changed my mind. Let's just go. I was more curious about it than anything else, but it's a long drive to get out there. If I could ever get on this fucking road. It's a long drive to get out there. Alright, let's instead go back. Let's try to do this big smoke mission. Because it'll be frustrating enough to go make that long drive for no reason. Let's replace that with the frustration of a mission that's on the short list of the most frustrating ones in the game, which is this train chasing thing you do with Big Smoke. It will not make a difference, by the way, that suddenly we've wiped out that gang's territory in its entirety. That's not going to affect this mission at all. Let's watch the cinema again, because it's been a little while. So we get the 10 penny theme, and he yells boo.
Yo, Carl, see you around.
Fuck they doing over here anyway?
Punk-ass police. Those nosy motherfuckers won't leave me alone. Think I'm Mr. Big or something. But I don't tell them shit. For me, it's all about my homeboy Carl.
Yeah, whatever you say.
See, it's strange. Like CJ, it's pretty apparent from
down to
CJ's
represent
yeah,
me.
whatever you say, that he
Look,
doesn't
my
believe
cousin was
Smoke,
coming in
but
town
he
from
still
Memphis.
doesn't pursue this.
I got to go scoop her up.
I guess he believes the part
All
about
right,
him
man. Come
not
on.
um, telling the cops anything, but the whole like it's all about my friend CJ. It's like yeah, that was a bridge too far. Like if Smoke had been like yeah, I don't tell them anything. I don't know why they're around here bothering me. Like we'd be fine. But it's this whole like yeah, it's all about my friend CJ. Oh shoot.
What you want me to roll with you for anyway?
Never mind.
No
I've got a
reason. I
mission I
just
need to
wanted to
do off
get it.
screen for Smoke as well. I did a beautiful job of setting up this slot, so that I had done absolutely nothing that wasn't required to get Doberman as a mission. I just then did a terrible job of remembering what the hell I did and didn't need to do when it came time to load the game. So that mission, it was easy. It was just a running tutorial. We wasted 11 minutes at this point. I probably should just scrap this video, honestly. But what we'll do is we'll try to get something done. Oh, we got a mission for Sweet. Let's do a mission for Sweet. And then between videos, I'm going to do that first Big Smoke mission so we can get the train mission going. And even this is not going to work.
Nice outfit, high roller.
I think that was not...
Man, why you trying to fade me?
I don't think that was supposed to be sarcastic on that guy's part. Can't be absolutely sure. Alright, let's do this mission for Sweet. At least they got basketball outside of their house here. One pointer. Standard ball, he'll automatically pick it up. Like I don't understand why Rockstar adds some of these. They're very much about having a lot of mini games in their game, but like even GTA 5 adds tennis, and you can have Michael, whatever, Santana, Santiago, whatever. He can play tennis with like his estranged wife or his other characters. I always
Carl, what's up, baby,
play it
bro?
for a minute and then wonder why.
Peep this. Tenpenny just came by. Said that one of them ballers that you and Smoke laid out, Lil Weasel, is getting buried and all the OGs gonna be there.
At a funeral?
Yeah, we just catch all those ball sack ass niggas at one time.
That's a little messed up, isn't it?
What's going on, dog?
At a funeral.
Just like mamas.
What up, family?
Let's go pop these motherfuckers
What's up,
out.
man? What's cracking?
Hey, look, we gotta go do something real
Poppin',
big.
nigga. What up, kinfolk?
Put Grove Street on the map for good.
We're completely generic, yo.
All right, nigga.
Grove Street for
Let's
life.
roll.
Grove Street, generic gangsters, yo. Big Smoke, right? I know where to be found. We're generic Grove Street.
We gonna need some allies.
So this is giving the tutorial on what I briefly showcased with getting people to join you.
I'll give you a freebie just for looking so good.
Yeah, cool, for sure. Thank you.
But all right. So we're recruiting guys. We can recruit way more than we need at this point. But what was I talking about? Oh, yeah. Apparently Tenpenny was just over with Sweet too. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on. But Tenpenny is like constantly talking to all of our gang members. He even showed up for Ryder.
I'm strapped, motherfucker. Let's roll, homie. Family.
Hey, you know me, CJ.
For the Grove, dude. We gotta put work in.
So our tutorial, like the cinematic, showed like a bunch of Grove Street lining up, but when we actually get into the mission, it's just us and Big Smoke, and we have to recruit 2 guys because that's who can fit in the car. And again, this mission is about showing you that you're allowed to do
Round
that.
back to left supper cross. Sneak over the wall.
Kane, ain't that cat front yard royalty?
Yeah, so if there's a hint of trouble, he's a no-show.
So this wouldn't be a good time to stop at Binko and get close then, right? But yeah, I guess that's, as I keep saying, this mission is the tutorial on getting gang members to join your gang, which serves very little purpose now because I've already pretty much completely maxed out the size of our gang. If we can sneak across here, which I think we can, it'll help us get a pretty straight route to where we want to go. This is in sort of way that we would get complaints about.
My manager keeps telling me I'm gonna be the new guy.
I never enjoy K-Jaw West as much as K-Jaw from GTA 3, but it is actually a much better representation of some different really famous, well-regarded reggae songs as opposed to just one album that I didn't know was a single album when I was listening to K-Jaw back in the day. And then, like, eventually Bobo got me that album as a Christmas gift. Scientists rids the world of the curse of the evil vampires. And that disc, like, eventually that disc actually broke in the course of, like, moving at one point. I think that's what it was. But anyway, what am I getting at here? Just that, yeah, like when I would listen to it, hey, there's some really good sections of that album that don't make it to GTA 3. But most of the highlights are stuff that makes it to GTA 3 because a lot of GTA 3 is like cutting out. It's really repetitive. It's dub music. But when listening to the album, I was kind of surprised. There are points where the DJ was interjecting, and I thought it was part of the song. So I was like, "Where's the guy saying, if you want knowledge, talk to a scientist?" What do you mean that's not part of the actual song?
This is it.
So because it's a mission, these guys are going to hop over a wall, whereas they would get real confused about this kind of navigation otherwise. Climb over the wall and approach Sweet and his men. Well, they're my men, aren't they?
Y'all take up positions and wait for Kane.
Okay. You can instruct them to stay in position or to follow you. Oh, I didn't know you could disband them by holding it for 7 seconds. I kind of sort of forgot about that.
Looks like that buster's wearing armor. Might take a round or two to drop his ass. CJ, you take care of Kane. You guys take care of these other marks.
Look out, man. Hey, families, this way. Cover me, guys. Hey, families, over here. What y'all waiting for?
Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go?
I'm right behind.
I know he's close.
You want some more?
Nice one, CJ.
There's a cop wandering right through this gangland shootout.
You want this to get real ugly, huh?
Oh, you are not a baller. Here they are. All right, let's get back in Sweet's. Well, it is Sweet's car. How did it get here? I think it's Sweet's car. It says like Grove Street for life on the.
Okay, everybody in, let's roll.
No, it's a different car. Oh wait, IS83 Grove. It might be Sweet's car, but I think Sweet's car says like there's like a vanity plate that says Grove for life or something. Well, we're rich. We can afford to hit a pay and spray and make the return much easier. There's lots of Grove Street around that should be helping us if we get in trouble, but I don't think they will if they're not officially in the gang. It's like, yeah, copper, we're shooting at you, but you can't touch us as long as we're in this auto parts place. I really wish they would stop shooting now. Like, sometimes having those guys around doesn't make things easier. It rarely... they're not really helpful. I mean, just being frank here, they're not that helpful. Because they die easily under fire, and they tend to provoke violence that you might be trying to avoid to do things. But you don't get a wanted level for them killing people. You'll just end up getting caught in crossfire. It's a weird mechanic. Like, San Andreas attempts a lot of really interesting stuff and gets most of it right. But the stuff they get wrong, I don't know, it's like a game that's so close to being perfect that the things that it does really weirdly, like the whole thing with like having gang soldiers coming with you but they're useless, just stands out when it, you know. But anyway, I was like, oh, they must be shooting at ballers, and then I was like, oh wait, no they're not, because now that the mission is done, any ballers that appear are plot ballers, because I did a ludicrous amount of work off screen to eliminate all gang territory where ballers would spawn as part of the open world experience. And some of you are like, JG, what the hell are you doing? You're like, completely messed up the game experience. Don't worry about it. If you don't already know why I don't think you should worry about it, don't think about it. Just rest assured, we don't have to worry about never encountering the ballers anymore. I have done something that it gave me a lot of ability to make money. It maxed out respect early. I had fun doing it off screen. And it doesn't have the effect on the world that you might think it does in the long run of the story.
We can't stop swinging. More CSR music coming right at you.
I think I went too far south. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I can still save this. I got to go left this next turn and then go right eventually. But there's not a turn here. It just looked like there would be. Oh, I'd already passed it. This cop is threatening to... What the hell is he doing? He was like trying to get me to hit him so that I would have a 1-star wanted level. So when I stopped to try to let him go by, he like parked. It does really sometimes feel that the cop AI in this game is a little less weird than it is in Vice City. And in Vice City, you totally... Like, there's sometimes these cops that have this ludicrous ability to catch you. And they seem desperately focused on it. There's no reason, by the way, that big highway sign would say Grove Street on it. But in this game, the cops are not, like, able to grab your car and pull it to a complete stop even though you're going full speed, which cops in Vice City occasionally do. But there really do seem like times where cops driving around are trying to get to a situation where you hit them so they have an excuse to try to arrest you.
Man, we was a force back there. Everybody go home, stay low. We ain't see each other all day. Copy?
Copy that.
I'll catch you later, Carl.
But yeah, it does seem like in this game sometimes the cops are trying to get you to commit a crime so they can arrest you. Which, maybe you think there's some kind of theme going on here. But there's some entrapment going on with the black youths who are not just black youths, which would be enough in some people's minds, but are pretty clearly gang members. I don't think it's intentional. I think it's just a thing about this game. I'm going to start saving on... Just in case something goes wrong with this video, I better find a different slot. But let's take our... Oh, it's probably gone too late, but I was going to say let's take our girlfriend on a date to round out the video. I want to see if we can get a driving date with Denise. Because one of the things I do feel a little guilty about with all the off-screening I did is you wouldn't have wanted to see all of the dates because it takes a lot of effort and time, but completely missing everything to get to 100% with the girlfriend. Some of it's kind of fun to see.
Hey,
Hey, bitch.
Hey, bitch.
let's go eat.
If it's gonna stop you from giving me a hard time, I'm down.
Yeah, like, she doesn't really respond to what CJ says, but
Stage with the Who
some of his dialogue is just fucking terrible. As far as like, hey, bitch. And he doesn't just say that to Denise. Like, the hood rat character, he talks like that to all of his girlfriends. And it's like, you ought to get something to eat, and be like,
Ain't it great round here, CJ?
yo.
You been to Liberty, huh?
That's the shit, for sure.
Like, they try to talk to him. He mostly just provides generic responses. So we'll keep trying. If we get a driving date with her, I'd like to show that off for the Let's Play. And then that'll pretty much be it with us and Denise as far as what you guys need to see. It's Rockstar brand beer. So we basically go somewhere to get drunk.
Good call on the meal. Don't you push me, fool.
I didn't.
Take me back to my crib. I want to open a beauty shop one day.
Uh-huh. Real interesting.
It's interesting. Today I was getting my car serviced, and I was walking around trying to get my steps in for my new, New Year's resolution, trying to get lose some weight. But I ended up being there. I knew I was going to be there for a while because I'd gotten the update, and I was going to be at least 90 minutes hanging around waiting for them to finish the car. And I went to, I was in a section of town that has a lot of Hispanic folks and a lot of businesses aimed at Hispanic folks. So, like, you would go to stores where the store name would be in Spanish, and there might be some limited signage in English. There's a restaurant, the food looked really good, and the name of the restaurant was Spanish. But they had picture menus, and it looked good, and I went in, and I kind of stood there, and there were people, they were all Hispanic. They were at a bar. There was somebody behind the bar. There was like two Hispanic guys who were actually at a table. They were eating. I saw menus. I picked one up while standing in kind of the entryway. I looked. They had like, oh, it's like chorizo tacos. That sounds great. I waited around. Nobody came up to seat me or anything. So I just left and went somewhere else. Let me know if I did something wrong. Like, I don't know if I could have waited longer and someone would have come up to seat me, but I also didn't feel like I was supposed to just sit down, or if anyone would have even noticed me if I'd done that. Nobody was like staring at me, giving me a hostile look. I didn't feel like it's not safe for me to be here. There's nothing like that. It was more like, I'm not convinced that the help here speak English, so I just kind of left. And I'm not having like, I'm curious what people think, but honestly, what I felt bad was maybe I gave up too fast. I was impatient, and somebody was about to come along and get me seated, but what I feel bad is I went somewhere and had a really good lunch, but I wanted those chorizo tacos. I feel like I got to look them up and see if I can get them from DoorDash in the future, but they're kind of far away from where I'm at. All right, whatever. Let's get her home. And the last thing we can do in this video
Hey, look at them raggedy ass shoes.
is some sweet, sweet loving. Oh, he thinks I got raggedy ass shoes. Like, if members of another gang clustered around me the way those guys were, I would be worried that I was about to get attacked. So that was kind of strange. They were clustering around me in a way that usually indicates... but anyway, as you can see... Oh, she's a homegirl. But as you can see, we managed to asexually reproduce her car by using it to take her on a date. Which is not that classy, but...
How about a little coffee?
Oh, positively is right.
I hope you ain't got no funny ideas.
Hope he ain't got no funny what? Ideas? I mean, I think we're accusing her of having STDs, but... That's the spot. Remember, nice guys finish last.
My CJ.
You the man. Oh, yeah, you the man. Anyway, we were at 100% with her at one point. I think it slipped over time. But, what the hell was I about to say? Yeah, one of those, like, famous things that, like, I guess everybody knows about this game is that it had a sex minigame, or a, quote, hot coffee minigame. There was some kind of minigame for sex, and I would assume it's similar to the one, like, there's many various terrible Flash games for you. Meat and Fuck Kingdom is the one I found out via Retsi Prey. But yeah, apparently there was something like that that got removed before the game was released, but that would be where you would use it. Alright, so I'm going to call it a video, And I guess what I'll do is go do that real basic mission for Smoke that we still need to do on this slot off screen. And then when we're back together on screen, it will be, unless I change my mind, which I could do, it'll be us trying to do that train mission with Big Smoke. I'm the Mysterious JG. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys will tune in next time as we hook up again with our friend Big Smoke. I'd been like, I guess if it sounded like I was throwing shade at Big Smoke, because we saw Tenpenny and what's his name, Pulaski, coming out of his place. Yeah, we just got done having a mission where Sweet was talking about those guys, and they showed up for some of our writer missions. So I guess I got to bear in mind those guys are in everything, and at some point we're gonna have to do something about those guys. Catch you next time.